Well, today is a very juicy video for you guys. I know you guys all want to know this. I've had so many questions. I've had so many accusations, like crazy, like honestly, I don't even understand how some people think they know what I get done before I know. Today's video is all about the treatments that I've had done. Now, I want to make this very quick and easy for you guys. I'm not going to sit here and try and convince you of any of these treatments. This is literally just me going through the treatments that I've had done right from the beginning that I've ever had done. And I'm going to give you a brief kind of background into the things that didn't work for me and the things that maybe I was a bit blinded by. You know, when you talk about blush blindness, I definitely at some point had lip blindness, lip filler blindness. That was like back in the day before I even started YouTube. No, I didn't actually know. So yeah, it was blindness. When I was living in the UK, I had lip filler done. That was probably the first thing I ever did. What a mistake that was. So basically I decided I wanted lip filler and I went to Harley Street, found someone who does lip filler, went actually to a really good place. I can't remember what it's called. The nurse did my lip filler, and obviously you just assume they know exactly what they're doing, right? What she did was great initially. I just remember when I went home, my mum was like so disappointed in me because she was just like, what have you done to your face? Yeah, I was just like, at that point, I was really scared inside because I was like, I actually don't know what I've done to my face and I'm actually very concerned. It was the first time I had it done, so I didn't know that, you know, it's going to take a few days, and it took about 2 weeks for it to go down, and then I was like, thank God, you know. But even then I feel like I liked it and I feel like she didn't do enough. So I went back again, probably sooner than I should have. And I'm not talking weeks, I do mean months, but that's still too soon, right? And anyway, that set me off on this lip filler journey. And I don't actually have any pictures. Actually, I probably do. I will try and find some. But can I just say that in the pictures, it actually, looking back with a clear state of mind where I'm not, you know, there's nothing wrong with me and I don't have the blindness. Looking back, it actually didn't look that bad on camera, like on pictures, but I just remember, I do remember how it looked, and at that point thinking that was okay. And now if I think back, I'm like, that wasn't okay. And the reason it wasn't okay is because it was very kind of like, when she did it, the lip line was too prominent. So it was like here, and then the lip line was a bit too plump, you know? So that's what she was doing. And at that point, I wasn't as educated on it. So I didn't know what I shouldn't, you know, do and what I should ask for and the kind of style I should go for. And I also didn't know how to put the fear of God into them, because now I do that, in all honesty. And I feel it's really important to understand and to tell your practitioner, whoever you're using, what you really don't want. That's something that I had done, and I regret starting it so early. And I think I must have been, I don't know, maybe like 19, 20 when I don't even know if it must have been later than that. Yeah, it definitely was later than that. That is way too young. No, because I remember I was not allowed to do anything like that. So it must have been in my early like 20s when I had that done, right? Also tried Botox when I was in the UK, and I didn't really do it again after that. I did it once, then I didn't do it again because I didn't see any difference. But then at the same time, I didn't know at that point. I didn't realize that it's preventative. You know, it's not like that's going to give you a massive difference at that point, because I didn't have wrinkles, I didn't have fine lines, didn't know what I was really looking for. Do you know what I mean? It was subtle. It was a subtle difference, but clearly I didn't know what I was doing. Right? I was just getting it done for the sake of it. I only did that once when I was younger, and then I left it. And then I moved to Dubai. And I've been here for over 10 years now, I think 11 years. And that's when I kind of started on more stuff, you know, because here I felt like there was a real difference in the skill set of people performing this kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't matter where you go, you can get people who are like real cowboys and then real, like, you know, really good at what they do. So it doesn't matter. I'm not saying it's in one place that you find all the good ones, but I came across really good ones here. I actually went to Kaya Skin Clinic, and that's who I have been going to ever since I first moved here. So over time, because of being an actual client of theirs, I then ended up becoming brand ambassador for them. It was a very natural progression for me. It wasn't like they just hired me. I was going to them anyway, and I was loving and raving about their services. So they ended up having me as a brand ambassador because it was authentic for them. It makes it so much easier for me as well. And I don't like to do anything that doesn't feel authentic to me. So for me, it was so easy to share my positive reviews about this place. So I still go there. And anyway, they really helped me with my skincare. So I then started having skincare treatments done. Like I had chemical peels by them, and that really helped my skin. The doctor there, the dermatologist, put me on azelaic acid, and that initially really helped with my acne because I was struggling with adult acne. Over time, he's the one who kind of said to me, introduced me to retinol. I went on retinol for a while, and that really cleared up my skin amazingly. Like I used the Lancet Advanced Retinol treatment, and that was a game changer for me. I definitely peeled a lot because I'd never used anything like that on my skin before, but it was a transitional process and it worked amazing for me. A little while after that, I then started getting my lip filler done by the clinic. After a few treatments of it, I realized it was a bit uneven, and that wasn't because of the treatments I was getting in Kai Skin Clinic. It was actually old filler from the UK. And I had already noticed that unevenness in the UK, by the way, but I just didn't know what the hell I was going to do about it because I didn't know about dissolving anything or anything like that. The doctor then spoke to me and said, look, how about we actually dissolve this and then just start anew? And I was like, okay, cool. He explained it all to me. He explained that when we dissolve it, it's going to dissolve your natural hyaluronic acid in your lips too. So it is going to be way more like it. Don't think this is what your lips look like before. I was like, okay, so we did it. My lips were like huge with this kind of dissolving agent in there. We got rid of it, and oh my god, I was like, wow, this is fully taken out any kind of volume I had at all. I looked so funny. Actually, I might see if I've got any pictures from that because that would be funny. I must have taken some videos of that. So anyway, yeah, that got taken out, and then we started from scratch. And then that's when they did it slowly, and they didn't go as big as what they were, which wasn't really that crazy big, but I just wouldn't go that big now. It was much more natural. And I probably did that every 6 months. I had a top up for, I would say, a few years, and maybe longer than that. I'd say about 4 to 5 years I did that. So lip filler twice a year, but it was very minor. It wasn't a lot that I was getting done. I wasn't getting I wasn't going and saying, give me a whole mil or anything like that. It was very kind of like just the tiniest bit. I don't want it to look obvious. As I started aging, I realized I wanted less and less of that stuff, and I wanted it to look more natural. Over time, that 6-month gap became more and more. I haven't had lip filler done, I would say, for maybe, and I might be wrong about the exact time, but I'd say roughly around 3 years or so. I haven't had any lip filler done. Maybe a little bit longer than that, maybe a little bit less than that, but I don't have the exact time frame. But I haven't had it done for a very, very long time, and I rely purely on, I don't even rely on anything in particular to plump my lips. I think my Dual Lip Maximizer really helps, but I actually only started using that because it's super hydrating, but apparently it's really good for collagen production, so that might be helping me. I don't know, but I don't get any more lip filler done. So anyway, that's the lip filler done and dusted. I also started Botox when I came out here, and I absolutely loved it. I was like, wow, now I'm seeing a difference. And I was getting that probably a little bit too frequently. I wasn't getting too much of it, but I was getting it done too frequently. Now, when I look back at it in hindsight, I was getting it done every 4 months. And then I started hearing this thing about how you shouldn't have it so frequently because you can become immune to it. And I was like, well, that is not a good thing. I don't want to be immune to this stuff because it's like amazing. So I started leaving more of a gap. So now I get it done every 5 to 6 months. So again, twice a year roughly. I didn't know how many units I was getting done. I just was kind of like saying, I want it done on my forehead, not too much, but just a little bit. And then here, was probably my main concern. I was like, I don't like crow's feet, I don't like it to look heavy and drag my eyes down. And for me, I think it was a lot to do with my work because of makeup application and stuff. So for me, this whole area being a lot more open really helps with my tutorials because it just allows me to be able to have more space to work with. So I like that slightly kind of lifted there. I'm all about the lift. You probably see this on my videos. I'm always talking about the lift. My main concern was around here. And then the other areas would be where the doctor would think that I could do with a little bit, which sometimes was like around this area here. They'd usually put a little bit in the chin, and I would get masseter Botox done, which is basically along your jawline once a year, not twice a year. Once a year I would get it done here, right? So that helps to just help with the lines and everything there. So that's what I will get done in every Botox appointment. I still do that and I love it. And in between, so after the Botox started, after a little while, I had threads done. I don't know the exact one that I had done. I just know that they're the ones that dissolve. I have to say that was probably one of the best treatments I had done. It's literally like a facelift. Threads for me were amazing. And look, I know I don't want all the like Karens coming out being like, you know, oh my God, that's so dangerous. And this can happen to your skin. Oh, did you know about this? You shouldn't get this done. Like, just get done what you want to get done. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy. I'm good here. I'm okay with whatever I get done. And I also do my research, you know, and I'm not saying everything I research and I get done is like, you know, has no risk whatsoever, but I do my research and I think about what I'm comfortable with getting done. I had threads done and it was the best thing I ever did. It gave me the most insane lift. Like here, oh my God. I basically got it done along this area here and this area was like pulled up like that. I swear to God, that gave me the most snatched look ever. And I feel like that actually did remodel my face a little bit. Like I feel like that actually changed my face shape a little bit, you know? And I feel like I only really saw the benefits of that when I lost weight. Because then I was like, wow, all this was like underneath. At the time it was so good and I was overweight at that point. So I was seeing a really amazing difference at that point. And now I'm just like, wow, I could have actually really reaped the most. I could have actually really made the most of the results from that if I just wasn't overweight. But, you know, it is what it is. So that's the other thing I had done. Then a little while later, I kind of like carried on with the like skin peels, chemical peels every so often. Not that often because I didn't want to irritate my skin. It was probably maybe once a year. I tried PRP and I did that twice and I wasn't really that kind of like, oh my God, this is amazing. So I did that twice and then I left it. After a little while, I just carried on with my normal kind of Botox twice a year and every so often I'd get like a facial, hydrofacial done, that kind of stuff. I carried on like that for a good few years. And then recently I also had ultherapy done. I had ultherapy done along the jawline. And you know what? Now when I look back, I'm like, I got those things done to help to slim down my face, which is actually really dumb because I got that done when in actual fact what I needed to do was lose weight. Had I have lost weight, I would have been okay. I would have been happy with the results. Like I would have been happy with the way my face was. So I feel like that was me in a bit of a crisis mentally because I feel like I wasn't really addressing the real thing. Do you know what I mean? Like the real concern there, which was the fact that I was overweight. I was so unhealthy for quite a while and I think my most unhealthiest has been in Dubai, to be honest with you. Prior to that, when I was younger, I was super slim, never struggled with weight gain or anything like that. But I think when it actually all started was just before we moved to Dubai because when I got married, we weren't trying for kids or anything. I didn't actually know what I wanted to do yet in terms of like timeline when it comes to kids, but I fell pregnant. And I had a miscarriage in the UK when I lived there and it was a year before we actually moved. And that miscarriage was, I would say, quite a defining moment, I think, in my life because I was 3 months pregnant when I had the miscarriage and, you know, I'm fine with it all now. Like I've dealt with it, but it took me quite a long time to deal with it. And I know there are so many people who have miscarriages and I had the one. But the reason it really hit me so hard is because I basically lost so much blood, and I'm sorry to go into detail, but I basically was at home and Bobby was at work and I rang him and I said, you need to get home now. Like there's something not right. And oh my God, I basically was hemorrhaging so bad. And it got to a point where I then passed out. Anyway, then I don't even remember the end part of it or the part when I was in hospital, but I was in hospital for a few days. I don't actually know how long I was in hospital for. It's such a blur now. It was one of the scariest things I've ever been through. The ambulance came and took me. Bobby told me everything afterwards, and he actually didn't tell me straight away. He waited until I had mentally become a bit stronger before he actually told me. But they said to him, she's lucky to be alive because she actually lost so much blood. And it was a very bad miscarriage. Like miscarriages are bad anyway, but this one was like nearly cost me my life. And I didn't know that, you know, I was just, that part of when halfway through it, halfway through miscarrying, because there's a whole chunk I'm not telling you, which is really way far too much like detail for you guys on here. At that point when I passed out, from then I don't remember anything until I was in the hospital, and there's a section that I remember which is really, really not nice in the hospital. And then I remember being awake for that bit, which was awful. And I just remember seeing Bobby, and he just looked like so worried. And then I just passed out again. And then the next time I remember being up was when I was in the hospital bed and I was on morphine. After that, I put a lot of weight on. Like, I was already overweight, clearly, because I was just, I was pregnant prior to that, and I was obviously eating a lot. It was just, I was all over the place. It was from that situation that I started to have issues with weight. So my weight issues started from then. And it was kind of very up and down, yo-yoing. There was a point in Dubai where I did lose a lot of weight because I went on the keto diet, and that really worked. And I still have a picture from that time. And I remember thinking, wow, this is amazing. It's like, I've lost the weight. But then you just put it back on, because who doesn't have carbs at all for the rest of their life, So then I put the weight back on. I didn't do it sensibly. Do you know what I mean? I was dieting left, right, and center, but I wasn't doing it sensibly. I was just trying to lose the weight. And then it got to a point where I really just almost parked it. And I was like, what can I do? It's just not working. And I almost I feel like blanked out the part that, hey, you're overweight, you're unhealthy. I was like blank. I was really ignoring those alarm bells. And I was just doing everything else to make myself feel better. And that's where I was like, let's get old therapy done, because it snatches your jawline. And I'm like, I don't know, I put one part of me to bed which was like the same part, which was like, there's an easier solution here. You just need to lose weight and do it the right way. But clearly nothing was working for me. So I fully get it when people are struggling with this stuff, because it's easy to say, go on a diet, lose the weight, and this is what you're supposed to do. But I think you really need to be there mentally in order for it to work. And if you're not there mentally, it may not work for you. And I feel like for me, for so many years, my motivation and my mental headspace, like where I was mentally, those two things were not on the same level at any point. It was like that. I wasn't doing what I needed to do, and I was relying on other things to make me look slimmer and make me feel better about myself. But I was very unhappy with how I was, because it wasn't me. It was something that I'd developed in my adult life that I never struggled with growing up, So, in my 30s, mid-30s is when I was struggling with this. I'm like, what is this thing I've never had to deal with, like being overweight or trying to lose it and not being able to lose it and all that kind of stuff. So I really ended up putting a lot of weight on. So as I was saying, I had old therapy, and I feel like it was pointless. I shouldn't have even bothered. I should have done it the right way. But we all make silly decisions sometimes. So that's what I did, old therapy. The other thing that I tried was Sculptra. And I really, if I miss anything out, I will, if I remember, hopefully I will say it, but I don't think I'm missing anything out. I had Sculptra done, and that is more recent. I had that done last year, and I've had 3 sessions, and it is amazing. I absolutely love it. I feel like it is the best way to go when it comes to wanting volume in your face, but in a natural way. That's just reminded me. I did get filler done in my face or my cheeks years back, like probably my 2nd or 3rd year in Dubai. So it's probably about 8 years ago. And I really didn't like it. Like, it just made me look very, imagine that. I was also overweight, right? And I was like, what was I thinking? Anyway, yeah. So I just forgot that I did get that done. So yeah, I had Sculptra done recently, and I've had 3 sessions, and I'm probably going to get another one done in a couple of months or so. And I love the results because it isn't filler. It basically stimulates your skin to create more collagen naturally. So it's not an instant result that you get. It is over time, and I definitely do feel the difference. And it's not pillowy. It's not filler type. It's very natural. So, and I do feel like that's really helped my facial structure. So yeah, that's another thing I absolutely love. Would I get threads done again? I think I would. I don't know if you can after Sculptra. I should have asked that, because the threads were just amazing. I don't know if you can, but would I get that done? I would. Maybe not yet, but later on I probably would. And then the other thing that I've had done is microneedling, and I absolutely love that. I had mine done a few weeks ago. Absolutely love it for tightening up the pores and just tightening the skin a bit more. Yeah, I think that is it, guys. I've never done anything else on my face. So that's everything that I've had done. I don't think I've missed anything out. I just wanted to keep it real with you. I love this kind of stuff. Like, hearing and learning about new treatments is something I actually really do like. Like, I get excited about that stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I just feel like each to their own. If it's something that makes you happy and makes you feel confident in yourself, then get it done. I would never get it done for anyone else. Do I get any of the treatments done for Bobby? No. Honestly, he says to me, I don't know why you do this. But at the same time, he also says to me, you look great. Do you know what I mean? So I'm happy. For me, I do things that make me feel happy, that make me feel confident. I am a very secure person in myself, and I do not care to do things to make someone else feel good about me. I feel like that's a very important thing to have. That whole thing of actually liking yourself, being comfortable in your own company, and being content with yourself. I think those are the things that can really make you have a different outlook on life. Because I actually do look around at some people and I see people online that I know who, I just feel like everything's so curated on, when you see their Instagram. And I'm talking about people who aren't not necessarily creators, by the way, because if you are a content creator, I feel like that's a different story, because this is your job, right? You don't have to put everything down. You're getting paid. This is your job that brings in money. But when I see people who are not creators, I feel like it's easier to kind of judge them a little bit. Not that I want to. What I mean by it's easier to judge them is all I've got to go by is their feed. Whereas when I see a creator's feed, I know that that's very specifically curated for a certain vibe, for the kind of like job that person has and the money they want to attract and the brands they want to attract. Whereas when you see a normal person's feed, it's kind of like, you're making your judgment based on what they're deciding to show you. And I feel like a lot of people in this world are not content with themselves and not happy with themselves. It's very much about trying to make everyone else feel, like, oh, you've got a great life. Do you know what I mean? It's like very kind of like, look at me, I have an amazing life. I'm so happy. I have such a great relationship. I can buy all these things, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people are like that these days. And it's fine. I think it's actually great if you're out there and you're able to actually buy all the things that you like. And I also do believe that a lot of people in this world, especially people I know, they post things who are not creators. They post things because they're really proud of the fact that they've been able to buy something. So they want to share it. They want to show it. Do you know what I mean? It makes them feel good. It's an achievement for them. So I do totally get that side too. I also do feel that there are a lot of people who are looking for, I don't know if acceptance is the right word, but they're really insecure with themselves. And it sometimes can be seen through the way that people portray themselves sometimes. So I find that very sad, because I feel like as I've gotten older, I've realised that liking myself is so important. Being comfortable with myself is so important. And being happy with my own company is so important. Those three things are really important to me, because they've actually made me so content with myself and life in general that I don't do things for other people anymore. I don't do things to seek acceptance, or I don't do things to feel valued by other people, because I value myself. And that is important to me. I don't want to live my life trying to feel valued by other people, because you should be valued by the right people. The right people should make you feel valued regardless. And if they don't, then they're not the right people. I don't know where I was going with this, but really what I'm trying to say is that you should do what makes you feel comfortable and happy. This isn't about doing anything for anyone else. If you want to try something, do your research, do your due diligence, read up on whatever you want to try out, right? If you don't like what you see, then don't get it done. Yeah, but always make sure you go to someone who is a professional at what they do. Don't just go somewhere because it's really cheap to get Botox done. Do not do that. There's a reason why you see all these botched up jobs everywhere, because a lot of people just go to a random person. Honestly, you would be very surprised. But I hope that's really cleared up a lot of like kind of questions you may have had. I sometimes will see the odd comment on videos and it really doesn't bother me at all. Like, I think the other day I was going through comments and I saw one and someone was like, oh my God, so much lip filler. And I'm like, do you know what's crazy is I actually make my lips look bigger with lip liner. So they really are not this big. Even now, they're not this big. I can wipe it off and then you might feel better. But I don't care about you. Yeah, you'll get random people as a creator saying random things to you. Like at the moment, I'm going to be honest, like I've only just managed to tie my hair back, by the way. There's the tiniest ponytail. I could not wear it out like this because it looks horrendous. And a million pins there. But I've finally been able to slick my hair back for once after so long. And I am actually deciding to, well, I have decided to grow my hair. I don't know how long it's going to last, guys. So let's just see. But I do want to grow it. I do want to get my straight bob cut again. And yeah, let's see how that goes. Oh, earlier this morning, I saw a comment and someone put on this channel and they put, it's such a shame you cut your hair so short. It's such a shame you have no manners, whoever you were. Like, honestly, how rude are people? It doesn't bug me, honestly, but I tell you what does blow my mind, that these people are sitting there saying stuff like this. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, who are you? Are you like some supermodel who just really doesn't want to show how they look? Like, what? I'm pretty sure there's something someone could say about you. But anyway, that was my video today. I hope you've enjoyed it. And let me know if you want to know anything else. Are there any other burning questions that you guys have? Let me know. If there's any video ideas you have, let me know in the comments. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope this has cleared up a lot. You know what I love about you guys, most of you on here, is that, you know, when people write mean comments, which isn't often, to be fair, so I'm really grateful for that. But the ones that do, you guys actually answer back and you're like, you're so rude, or you say something back to them. And I love that. I love the little tribe we've created here. I absolutely love it. Anyway, please do like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button so you don't miss my next one. And I'll see you on the next video.